Right, hello, it is Sammy33, and it is time for the next block voting, Block 3. You see it ends today, so got to get it in. Looking at getting around the 64 started. I'll talk about that in a later video. Next week, week 7 and 8 opening, I'll talk about that soon enough too. But right now, we focus on the voting. So let's hop on over. Let's open that up too. Slide that to the back. And let's vote. So I try to wait a little bit later. Got to do it now. Otherwise, I probably won't be able to get it in before work. So, continuing where we left off. I want to put Bama in front because he got a big win against Georgia, who's number 7. But I will give Kansas the benefit of the doubt. He has not lost. He is the reigning champ. Until he loses a game, I will not drop him from number 1. So that remains the same. Notre Dame at number 3. They will stay at number 3. Texas at number 4. Only a couple games played for now. They also will stay at number 4. Let's get some games in though. Don't know what's going on in terms of if this coach has, if the coach is extended absence or something, so won't pay much attention to that for the moment. And now we got to make some changes. Oregon, 19-point loss to Michigan State. Ouch. Beat UCLA though. Ohio State wins against Cal and BC, but a big loss to Iowa. Ouch. Georgia, clearly a loss. Just mentioned that about Bama beating Georgia, but winning on the road against Auburn and winning at home, big win against Wake Forest. Florida and Baylor, both undefeated. They will move up. So Florida will jump from 8 to 5 on my poll. Baylor 9 to 6. Tennessee undefeated. They take a big jump here as well. 10 to 7. Clemson, tough block. Losing at home to Florida State, on the road to NC State, and then squeaking by Minnesota. Really tough 3 games played this week. Have to figure that out. Iowa State, they lose to Baylor. I watched that game. Inside the red zone, opted to instead of kicking a field goal to force overtime, opted to go for it. Didn't work. Takes the loss. South Carolina, they will jump from 13 to 8. They are undefeated. Collision course with Bama coming up, so that should be a fun game. 2 top 10 teams battling. I'm sure they'll jump into the top 10. Mizzou, no games played this block. Here's the interesting one. So they didn't play a game this block. How far up am I willing to move them since they do have a loss? LSU it wins. Central Michigan, Liberty. They're not big schools, but wins nonetheless. Question is, how far down do you move Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia? This is a tough one. I'm not sure how far to move up Mizzou and LSU. I think that I'll drop Georgia to 9. So they dropped 2 spots. It was a 3-point game. I know they were playing at home. It's Bama. It's Mike. I'm not going to punish him too much. He did win the other 2 games, and it was a 1-score loss. Really good game to watch, too. I'm going to go LSU at 15, from 15 to 10. So then that's Mizzou. Have to do some shaking up here. We'll put Mizzou here. Iowa State will go to 12. So they basically stay in the same spot. Mizzou's there. Let me open Nebraska so I'm aware of the fact that Nebraska's there. So that's where I'm at, and I still need to find Clemson, Ohio State, and Oregon room. Texas A&M, big loss to Arkansas. SMU, no games played. Louisville, 2 big losses. Losing to Georgia Tech conference game, and then, man, Notre Dame. Utah losing to Arizona but beats Mississippi State. Michigan 2 wins. This is where things are going to get really interesting. So, and then SMU, they didn't play a game. Oh, this is going to be tough. We'll go Nebraska, moving from 16 to 13. Takes care of Nebraska. Oregon, then Ohio State. So that'll take care of those 2 teams. So that rounds out just about, rounds out the top 15. Close those. So Clemson, Texas A&M, SMU did not play, but I will move Michigan up to 16. So they'll take a jump. So Michigan will go there. Open up Florida State. They lost. Jeez, everyone's making it tough with these losses here. How far down do I drop Clemson? Because even though they did lose 2 games, but then the game they won was a close game too. Did I put Southern Methodist? I did not. They move up a spot. So SMU moving up there. I can close that. Oh, Texas A&M lost. Louisville lost twice. I'm going to close that because I'm going to drop them out the top 25, I believe. Given the teams that are underneath, I'm probably going to drop them out. Clemson, that's the one that I'm struggling with. How far down do I move them? And then Texas A&M. Utah did lose, but they won a game. Florida State lost both. So I'm just going to X out because I'm going to drop them out. CU will move up to 18 since they won their game. Okay. Cincinnati, see, tough. They win 1, they lose 1. Making it tough on me. Washington, win 1, get blown out in 1. TCU loses to Kansas, but 2 blowout wins. Ole Miss 1-4. Georgia Tech, they lost to South Carolina. I'm going to have to start thinking about some of these teams here because it's kind of tough. Iowa wins, so Iowa I'm going to move them up here. They won. I don't have to do anything with them. They definitely move up. Georgia did lose a game, South Carolina, but they did win 3. TCU lost to the champs, but they won 2. So tough. Georgia Tech 20. I'm cool with that. Texas A&M. Clemson. It is 2 losses. Drop Clemson down there. And then it's the teams down here. What are we looking at? Looking at myself. I won, but I'm not going to vote for myself. San Diego State won. They, for me, will move up. They move up to 22. East Carolina, what did you do? You lost 1. Rutgers, you're 2-3. Northern Illinois, ouch. San Jose, I know, lost to Washington State. That's an ouch. Washington State lost to Boise. I feel like my hands are kind of tied right now in terms of how I'm going to vote for some of these teams. Makes it tough. How far down am I going to go? Wyoming? I know NC State, I'm about to say North Carolina, but I just don't know who to put in these last couple of spots. Texas A&M did win a game, but would I put them over? Would I put them over Utah? I think that's the question. Cincinnati split. Tough loss to Kentucky. Washington split. TCU, did I vote for them? Because they did. They're still 4-1. I think what we do here is we go TCU 23, Texas A&M at 24, and then 25 will be Wyoming. I think I'm going to be okay enough with that. I'm not really. It's just tough. The last spot, so many teams lost. It's tough to figure out where. I know someone's probably saying, well, hey, you're going to go pick a team that's 42. You're at 30 and you didn't lose. I mean, I'm okay with that. That'll be the top 25. It's a tougher vote this week. Much tougher vote this week. Alright, so voting is done. 0246. We go to coach report, not her contract. I'm not sure why I didn't do that earlier. Stats in for game 5. Need to do a recap. Need to do the coach report, but 4 of the 10 votes, 14.78 of the 40 points. So looking good on that end. Talk about some other stuff going forward, but for now, that is the poll voting for this block.